Housing First is a recent innovation from the homeless sector. It uses housing as a starting point rather than an end point out of homelessness. In other words, it uses housing as an instrument of reintegration rather than a result of a long reintegration process. It enables homeless people with challenging support needs because of their mental health or addiction problems to stay in their own homes.
Housing First is probably the most important innovation in homeless service design that there's been in the last 30 years. Developed in North America by Sam Decembris, based on earlier service models working with people with mental health problems. We've seen it spread across Europe, and despite all these differences in context, what Housing First enables us to do is to really get to a point where we can, for most people with complex need, solve their homelessness.
There is a worry that Housing First means moving people, very vulnerable people, into housing and leaving them to cope on their own. Some people think that homeless people with high support needs cannot be housed, and some others think that Housing First is very expensive. And these are some of the misconceptions that are addressed in the guide.
Whatever program calls itself Housing First must have access, immediate access, meaning within a few weeks, to real housing. Not the shelter, not something shared, not transitional, a place of their own, permanent, furnished. The person can have a sense of ownership about, and they pay some percentage of the money they have, if they have money, towards the rent, usually 30% or something like that. But it's real housing, usually integrated into the community, if that's what the person wants. If the person wants something else, then it's the housing that the person wants, not that the program prescribes. The other part of the program is the support services, and the support services need to be at a level of intensity that is prepared to meet the needs of the person. So if you're housing people with severe mental illness or health problems or addiction problems or all kinds of other problems, you should have on your team the ability either to provide those directly, like in an ACT team, or to broker for them in local community or clinics or other kind of community-based services. You're the broker of services.
Housing First services successfully house approximately 8 out of every 10 homeless people with high support needs. Although the positive effects were not uniform, projects have reported stabilization and reduction in drugs and alcohol use, improvements in mental health, improvements in physical health, and social integration can happen in different areas. Housing First has also the potential to reduce costs for other services.